When we pulled into Cuatro single origin coffees in El Salvador, it was just a beautiful vista. Emilio Lopez was our host for the entire time that we were in El Salvador, and his multi-generation farm was just the perfect setting for our trip.
So this is a multi-generation business. This has been in your family for many, many years.
Yes, indeed. Actually, my family started migrating into El Salvador back in the 1840s. So I'm a 7th and a 6th generation coffee farmers, managing actually the same land that they came and started purchasing.
What does that feel like for you? I mean, to be part of what your family has been doing for over 100 years.
First of all, it feels that there's actually coffee running through my veins, first of all. But then it just makes me think about my kids and what I'm trying to leave for them as well. The biggest goal is to leave to them something better than what I received when it was my turn.
And so when roasters like the folks from Kaldi's come in, what does that mean for you as a producer to have the people who are directly buying these coffees? How does that impact you?
When I get people like Kaldi's here to just kind of endorse, in a way, our relationship and our model, and the cool thing as well is that I've been also to their plant. I've been also to their roastery, and I've seen what are they doing with my product. So for me, it is very important trying to understand what they're looking for and then coming back and produce it specifically for them. Having them here is an opportunity to know it firsthand and at the spot, at the origin. And the good thing also about a direct relationship is that when people or companies like Kaldi's come and they see where their money is really going and being invested directly at the mill level, at the farm level, and then they see, okay, I can grow with this kind of farm, I can grow with this company together, because such as we are growing, they are growing as well. And our full-time employees have grown with us as well. Before everyone was taking the bus to come here. Now there's at least 10 motorcycles parked in our parking lot over there. You can see that development going down through our employees and their families as well.
Just so that I'm clear, when the beans are here, they're called parchment, is that right?
Yes. The beans that are on the patio drying that look either yellow or completely white, we consider parchment.
Okay.
Whereas we have other beans that we did not depulp, and those we would just call them just dried processed, which is you dry them with the skin or with the pulp.
Those are those gorgeous black ones.
Yes,
yeah.
Those are fully ripe beans that were hand selected on the picking. And they did also go through the processing at the depulping station, but they weren't depulped. They were just rinsed and cleaned up, so sorted by density as well.
It's so interesting to see these differences in the way that the beans are processed. And so what does that mean for the end consumer?
Yeah, the cool thing about what's happening now in the industry is that with equipment and with borrowing of methods from other industries, we're able now to just process coffees depending on what's the usage of that coffee going to be like. Mm-hmm. Coffees that are naturally processed or undepulped, those coffees tend to be really good on the espresso base, because it brings out fruit flavors. The crema also on the espresso, it's a little more darker, creamier.
Richer.
It's richer, exactly. Whereas a wash coffee might be a little more bubbly and a little more golden, the color of the crema. Natural coffee will end up tasting more like a heavier wine or a red wine, because it is more fruity, richer, and the color of the cherry as well is red. So it's like tasting that red, heavier coffee, whereas the fully washed coffee will showcase more citric notes, more delicate notes, floral notes like a Chardonnay.
During the day, all of the folks here who are working on the patio, they're constantly moving and raking the beans. Is that something that they do throughout the day?
The first thing people do when they show up at 7 is uncover the humps and then start spreading them out in the patio. And then start also raking the coffee that got laid on the patios the night before.
Now, Just out of curiosity, I mean, I noticed that some were in diagonals, some
Yep.
were in rows. Is that just the artistic whim of the person who's raking it, or like, is there a purpose for each thing you're trying to achieve?
Okay, we're always trying to follow our shadow because that's where the sun is hitting directly. If you do a pattern against the sun, you're getting a lot of shade on the row of coffee. So you want to be always raking towards your shadow or towards the sun.
These rows, which have already been out today,
Yes.
are they going to go out for a second day?
No, they're going to be here. If this does not make it to the mechanical dryer, this will most likely be staying on the patio from 10 to 15 days.
Oh my gosh, you're
Yes,
kidding.
and they're raking it every hour when there's sun out.
Wow.
When there's no sun out, we cover them every day. I really wish consumers understand all the hard work that goes into this, but not just the hard work, but also the passion. This is an art. This is something that we really put a lot of passion and hard work, but also it's such a noble product. You know, it's such an impact to a lot of people. And it's something that is custom made for not just the roaster, but also specifically to the market, to that end customer, to that final consumer. Things are made and are produced for them specifically with a lot of care and a lot of passion, and coffee is a magical product. It's a very demandable product. As soon as we produce it, we want to mill it, we want to process it, and we want to pass it along to the next hands as soon as possible. We don't want to be having that for too long because it needs to pass along, and in the end it needs to get to the consumer as fresh as possible.
As the trip winds down, I'm struck by the complexity of this seemingly simple process, as well as the genuine passion that the farmers feel for producing this beautiful agricultural product.
Where I can see that tree loving its environment and like really reacting the way I want it to react, and just seeing how it's loving how we are treating it, that just makes my day. I've stand in the middle of that green lot right here and just smiled for hours.